the thing in. I better plug in the network. Oh, it is plugged in. Okay. Let's unplug. Let's go off the network. Turn off Wi-Fi. There we go.
Não sei se vai abrir direito. Acho que eu vou para casa usar o iPhone.
Eu não vou deixar a DP.
Hey guys, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. I lost my connection. Sorry. So we have a teacher's assistant tonight. He been drinking all night, so he's a little tired. How are you, Daniela?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, I did. I went out with friends.
Well, that's always fun. I didn't. I had a reason to stay home. This thing. Milton, how are you?
Fine, teacher. Thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes, I have a good weekend.
Excellent. We're going to have a good class today. It's going to be a very interesting topic. Milton, remind us, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico City.
That's right, the big city of Mexico City. I think that's the largest city in North America, isn't it?
I think that's true.
Yeah, very big city.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Raphael.
Hello, Simon.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks for asking. I had a busy day today also. Not as busy as you, as I can see, but it was a busy day.
Well, yeah, you always have busy days. Mine was quite busy. Had a lot of work to do being a Monday. And of course, I just had the little one right there while my wife was making me a cold or a hot beverage for class. So we're going to have a fun class today. I don't know why I'm in the class twice, but hey, it's always good, right, to have two teachers?
Yes.
And I just want to check to make sure, yeah, we are broadcasting. Okay. So today's article comes from, somebody else joined as well. Aldona. Hello, Aldona. Where are you from, Aldona? Okay, Aldona's not speaking. All right, so let's get started with today's class. I found this article on CNN, and I'm just going to go ahead and open up Google Drive. That's where I'm going to place the article. Now, let's start with Raphael. Raphael, have you heard of Julian Assange?
The founder of WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks, right. And what is he known for?
To expose secret information to the media about several different governments, mainly United States and I think Russia also.
Yeah, so governments like him, don't they?
I don't think so.
Why don't governments like him?
Because the information he was delivering, he was spreading secret information, confidential information.
Yeah, very good. Milton, who was Edward Snowden?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Oh, wow, I'm surprised. Okay, well, listen carefully. So I know somebody here knows about him. Joe, hello, Joe.
Hello, nice to
Hi,
meet
Joe.
you.
Pleasure. Have you heard of the person by the name of Edward Snowden?
No, actually, it's the first time I hear about him.
Okay, well, this is a really good, this is a spy story we're going to talk about here.
I
Alright.
love spy stories.
Excellent. Daniela,
Yes.
who's Edward Snowden?
I don't remember if it is an English or American boy who's
American.
stolen some private information from American government about spy and something about internet.
Yeah, he leaked a lot of government information.
Okay.
Now, is the American government happy with him?
No, at all.
No. Generally, if you
I don't.
leak government information, governments aren't very happy.
Due to this fact, he escapes to Russia, if I'm not, if I remember right.
Well, that is true. Yeah, he's, I believe, in Russia right now. The Russian government has granted him, I don't know if asylum's the right word, but they're letting him stay. And of course, the U.S. government isn't happy about that.
Yes.
All right, excellent. So, guys, we're going to talk about a spy scandal here, and you want to listen carefully to this story because it looks like one country is going to lose a prime minister because of this. We'll find out more later. So for those of you who don't know what this class is about, let me explain. We take turn reading this article that I have. I will help you with your pronunciation. Okay. I want you to listen and try to understand what's happening in the story. What is the main purpose of the story? What is the subject of the story? What is happening? Why is it happening? Where is it happening? How is it happening? All of the questions we think of when we want to know something. Then we'll spend about half the class talking about it. So it'll give you guys a chance to have a discussion. Okay? For those of you who can access Google Drive, go to Google Drive. You'll have a better class experience using Google Drive. For those of you who don't have Google Drive, use group chat. If you're on a tablet, I'm afraid this is harder than it. It's hard to do it on a tablet because you can't use any of those. Before I get started, I want to say hello to Amir. Hello, Amir. And hello to Adona.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Although I can barely hear you, your audio quality is not very good. Adela.
Okay, can you know?
Just a minute. Hello, Adela. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Good. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. I'll check you. When it's your turn, Amir, we'll try a sound check again, okay?
Okay.
All right, could you read the title and the first paragraph, please, Adela? Also,
Sorry,
for those of you that are just listening, if there's a word and you don't understand it, or you're not sure of the pronunciation, double click on that word and I'll go over it after the student has read the paragraph.
Okay, I have the document.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead,
okay.
please.
Southern Assange Greenwald.com. Candice Gang of 4 take down a PM. CNN. NSA leaker Edward Snowden accuse New Zealand Prime Minister John Key of misleading the public over the country's spying activity as the nation's explosive election campaign reached a crescendo Monday.
Okay, let me hear you say Monday.
Monday, sorry.
Monday. Okay, misleading.
Misleading.
Snowden.
Snowden.
Accused.
Accused.
Okay, good. Now keep in mind, if you're having trouble with pronunciation and you speak Spanish or Portuguese, when you're speaking, close your nose so the air can't come out. And what that'll do is if you feel pressure when you try to speak, that's because air is coming out and you're using nasal sounds. English doesn't have any nasal sounds. And if you stop using those nasal sounds, you'll have less of an accent when speaking English. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Adela. Aldona, can you hear me? Okay, so I don't know why, Aldona, I can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Yes. The event held in Auckland Town Hall and organized by the German tech entrepreneur Kim Dotcom was titled A Moment of Truth and had been billed by Dotcom as a game changer that could alter the course of this Saturday's general election.
Okay, what do we mean by the word game changer? What does that mean? What's a game changer?
Someone who changed the game?
Okay, well that's a literal understanding of what game changer is. So we're not talking about games here, so what do you think is happening? How would you describe it?
Oh, don't know. Maybe he changed his attitude, but
it's somebody that is. So imagine you're playing a game. Game changer. You're changing the game, so it's a very different way of playing.
The rules change.
Yeah, so in this case, it's a change, but it's a major change. A change that alters how things are being done. Okay? Excellent. Thank you very much. Amir, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Yeah. Journalist Gillian Greenwald, who broke the NSA leaks story, appeared in Auckland alongside Dotcom lawyer Robert Amsterdam and Leila Har, the leader of the political party founded by Dotcom, while Snowden and WikiLeaks founder Julian
Game changer.
Assange spoke via video link.
Thank you. Assange.
You're welcome.
No, say Assange, please. Thank you. Glenn.
Sorry?
Glenn.
Glenn, yeah. Glenn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Daniela, it's your turn for the next paragraph, please.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Drawing on information contained in Snowden's NSA links and elaborating on articles they had published earlier in the day, Snowden and Greenwald said New Zealand was involved in mass electronic surveillance activities as part of a Five Eyes intelligence partnership with the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia.
Hey, let me hear you say United States.
United States.
Surveillance.
Surveillance.
Excellent. Well done. All right, Greg, next paragraph is yours. It's a big one. Are you ready?
Yeah, I will try.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The PAR said the information showed that the New Zealanders were subject to mass electronic surveillance with the XK-Score tool that New Zealand Intelligence Agency, the Government Communication Security Bureau, shared with the NSA. They claimed this directly contradicted K's assertion that there is not and never has been mass surveillance of New Zealanders undertaken by the GCSB. Rather, Snowden wrote, if you live in New Zealand, you are being watched.
Assertion.
Assertion.
Watched.
Watched.
Showed.
Showed.
Excellent. Oh, one more. Contradicted.
Contradicted.
Excellent. All right, now the next two paragraphs are short, so I'll have you read both of them. Joe, go ahead, please.
Yes, sure, with pleasure. I'm sorry.
Could you go ahead, please?
Yeah, sure, but actually I missed the place. Where should I start to read?
He said in a statement. It's important that you guys follow along or you're not going to pick up on the meaning of the story.
Yes, exactly. But I'm sorry, I was away from the laptop.
Okay, Joe, well, I'll come back to you. I'll give Milton and Raphael a turn, and then you can go ahead and read once they're done.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Milton, please go ahead. You're on mute, Milton.
Sorry, teacher. I read it?
Yes, your turn. Please go ahead.
He said in a statement he will not discuss the XK-Score program, saying, "We don't discuss the specific programs the GCSB may or may not use, but the GCSB does not collect mass metadata on New Zealanders. Therefore, it is clearly not contributing such data to anything or anyone." Project Speargun.
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 New Zealanders.
New Zealanders.
Excellent. Okay. Raphael, could you read the next two paragraphs, please?
Greenwald said Key had also misled the New Zealand public when the government was seeking to pass controversial, beefed-up spying laws last year. By giving assurance the new legislation would not allow mass metadata collection on the New Zealand public. On the contrary, claimed Greenwald, the new bill, which was narrowly passed into law, was designed to enable just that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Raphael. Well said. Okay, Joe, next paragraph.
With pleasure, leaked NSA documents appear to show that at around the time Key was making his public assurances around the planned legalizations, the the GCSB was implementing the first phase of mass surveillance program code-named Speargun, Greenwald said.
Speargun.
Speargun.
Surveillance.
Surveillance.
Legislation.
Legislation.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, we'll start over again. Adela, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Yes, the project which involved taping into the Southern Cross undersea telecommunication cable to harvest internet data will have required the expanded laws to operate and will have constituted the greatest expansion of GCSB spying activity in decades.
Decades. Would have. Required. Excellent. All right, next paragraph, please. Aldona. Aldona, next paragraph, please.
Yes, okay. The claims prompt the government to acknowledge the existence of plans for the cable access surveillance program for the first time. In a statement, Key said, work was begun on presenting a business case for the project described as a cybersecurity protection initiative, but that the project was shelved.
Initiative.
Okay,
now I want you to listen to how I read this same paragraph, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The claims prompted the government to acknowledge the existence of plans for the cable access surveillance program for the first time. In a statement, Key said work was begun on presenting a business case for the project, described as Cybersecurity Protection Initiative, but that project was shelved.
Right.
So what was the difference there between the way I read the paragraph and the way you read it?
I didn't pay much attention to commas and dots.
Yeah.
So probably it was the problem.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing that makes a big difference is too is if you pause for commas or other reasons like emphasis, you're going to find that it's more relaxing to read as well. It gives you more time to catch your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so excellent. Well done, though. All right, Amir, it's your turn. Could you read the next paragraph, please? Amir? All right, Daniela, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Okay. The business case for the highest form of protection was never completed or presented to Cabinet and never approved, but simply it never happened, he said.
He said.
He said.
Okay, good. Approved.
Approved.
Excellent. All right, well done. All right. Greg, it's your turn. Could you read the next paragraph under War of the Worlds? Or
Yes.
sorry, War of Words.
Yes, War of Words. The conflicting claims of the government surveillance activities have sparked a harsh war of words between Kay and Greenfield, with the Prime Minister labeling the latter a clown and Dotcom's little henchman in remarks to reporters.
What does the word henchman mean?
Henchman is like someone who helping the knight, I think. That was in the past.
Yeah, but they did some bad things, didn't they?
Yeah.
Kind of like minions. Here, let me show you what it means. According to the dictionary, it's a noun. And in this case, what we're looking for is somebody who's prepared to engage in bad activities, dishonest practices, or crime. Okay?
Okay, I'm thinking about that. He is helping him in this way, or in this case. But I understand the general meaning of this.
Excellent. Key.
Key.
Well done. Well said. Greg, next paragraph, please.
Okay. If this loser's going to come to town and try to tell me 5 days before an election staying at the .com mansion, he's doing anything other than .com's bidding. Please don't insult me with that. Kay told a radio interviewer.
Okay, mansion.
Mansion.
Excellent. All right, now we're going to move on to Milton. Milton, could you read the next paragraph, please?
Okay. In response, Greenwald told the audience in the Upland town hall it was a new experience to arrive in a foreign country and be publicly maligned and attacked by the nation's head of state using the most adolescent set of epithets imaginable. He had not been called a loser since I was like 14 years old, he said.
Epithets.
Epithets.
Maligned.
Maligned.
Publicly.
Publicly.
Okay, yeah, some big words in there. Publicly maligned, well, it's not good, right? And epitaph, what does the word epitaph mean?
I don't know.
Sorry?
I don't know.
Well, it's name calling, right? Well, the dictionary says it. Epitaph is an adjective or descriptive phrase expressing a quality of a person or thing mentioned. And in this case, it has a negative connotation. Okay. So it's in this case, it's not good. And see, look at it here. The most adolescent set of epitaphs imaginable. By saying it this way, well, there's something that you would hear students calling each other in school. They're not very polite. They're quite rude. As he goes on to say, he had not been called a loser since I was 14, like 14 years old. Okay, so yeah, they're not positive names. All right, Raphael, could you read the next two paragraphs, please?
.com in politics. At us, with the government since its 2012 arrest, .com has emerged as a significant political player on the campaign trail since forming the Internet Party, which has campaigned on a platform of internet freedom, digital rights, and opposing government electronic surveillance. A New Zealand resident since 2010, .com is fighting a battle in the New Zealand courts to avoid extradition to the United States, where he faces major criminal copyright charges related to his now-defunct cloud storage site, Megaupload, which is alleged to have enabled the piracy of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of films and music.
Okay, excellent. Now let me do a little bit of reading, and then we'll have a discussion. .com himself was subject to illegal surveillance by the GCSB prior to his arrest. The surveillance would have been unlawful at the time, as the GCSB was not permitted to spy on New Zealand residents, although those laws have since been changed. The seizure of his electronic data by US authorities has also been ruled illegal by a New Zealand court. In his fight against his extradition, .com has argued he is a victim of conspiracy by the New Zealand and US governments and Hollywood. He claims his arrest is a military-style police raid over criminal copyright charges, is a clear-cut case of prosecutorial overreach, and an example of the way in which the surveillance state was being harnessed to pursue commercial interests rather than protect citizens from terrorism. He has repeatedly outlined his beliefs that the New Zealand government decided to grant him residence in 2010 over the objections of intelligence officials only in order to facilitate his extradition to the United States. He claims he was used as a bargaining chip in the New Zealand government's negotiations with Hollywood executives who were threatening to relocate the filming of The Hobbit trilogy at around the same time in October 2010, at which his residency application was being considered. But in the lead-up to his event Monday night, .com released to the New Zealand Herald newspaper what he claimed was an email between Hollywood executives which, he said, backed his version of the events. He gave no account of the email's provenance, but the newspaper reported that the email formed part of .com's planned big reveal during the Moment of Truth event. Dated October 27, 2010, it purports to be from Warner Brothers chairman and chief executive Kevin, and I'm not sure how to say that last name, so I won't try, to a senior executive at the Motion Picture Association of America. The lobby group for the Hollywood studios tilted Megarip. The reported email read as follows. We had a really good meeting with the Prime Minister. He's a fan and we're getting what we came for. Your groundwork in New Zealand is paying off. I see strong support for our anti-privacy effort. John Key told me in private that they are granting .com residency despite pushback from officials about his criminal past. His AG will do everything in his power to assist us in the case, VIP treatment, and then a one-way ticket to Virginia. Okay. So you got a chance to read. We worked on pronunciation a little bit. But now, let's have a discussion. At the end of the story, you can see on the screen here, again, guys, you really should be in Google Drive. It's a whole lot easier to work that way. What I would like you to do is start writing. Tell me what this story is about. Tell me the who, the what, where, how, or even why. And then we'll start having a discussion. This will help you improve your writing abilities. So let's get started. Nobody's typing. Guys, let's start typing. If you can't get into Google Drive, use group chat or Verbling chat to give me your comments, okay? Thank you, Greg, for typing. Adela, thank you. Milton left. Maybe he didn't want to do any writing. Now, as you're typing as well, if I see any mistakes, I will correct them. Okay. Raphael, are you there? Hello, Raphael. Okay, that's privacy. Aldona. Hello, Aldona.
Yes, I'm here all the time.
Okay. I don't see you typing anything.
I'm in a chat box.
Which chat box are you in?
Group chat box.
Okay. Well, I don't see anything. So you haven't typed anything in group chat. Are you typing something there now?
No, because I'm trying to find how can I get to this page.
You don't know how to get to Google?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go to the very right side of the screen, you'll see a bunch of icons. And there's one that looks like a triangle. It has yellow, blue, and green.
Yes, I see
That's
it.
Google Drive. Click on that.
Mm-hmm. It's opening.
And when you open it, it should bring you to a story. If not, click on a little blue icon there that says Hangout Notes, and then you'll see the story.
Notes. Okay.
Okay, we're at the very bottom of page 6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just start typing some of your thoughts, and I'm going to start with some of the students who've been typing for a while. Greg, I see you've written quite a bit there. Care to tell us what you've written?
So we have, this is the article who actually describing the story of political influence of the surveillance on, in this case, the .com and a couple of other people tried to impact on the political situation in New Zealand, and the later tried to remind us about .com, who is what they were doing, what are their motivation to actually reveal information about this illegal practice between New Zealand, and we can see information about Australia, Canada, and NSA, and many other. And there's a political. I mean, it's not political. This is Secret Service, I think, in New Zealand, GBST, or something similar. And these people actually are involved in practice, and they make changes in the law who actually help them to change the law, make some practice changes that make some practice, more illegal. And there's later we can find information about the extradition of .com, problems, and many other things.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, the United States is one of those countries that is always saying you hear people talking about freedom.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of Western countries claim they have a lot of freedom, but would you say that a lot of Western countries are also spying on their people?
I know about that.
Yeah.
This is what Americans told us about 24 years ago. There's a question from, I don't know who was that, maybe it was an agent or something. There was a meeting, and the question was, because we try to create democracy, the question was who we can trust in the world. And the answer from American was very simple: nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, every message, every phone call that comes into the United States, whether it be from foreign nationals or American citizens, and traffic within the country is monitored.
Yeah.
It happens in Canada. It's obviously happening in New Zealand, and I wonder which other countries have this.
In Poland, actually. Unfortunately, in Poland we have application about surveillance of 2 million people. That is the story from last maybe 4 years or 3 years. And
Yes.
This is the record.
So we talk about democracy and freedom, and you wonder how much of it is really true. How free are we truly? Okay, thank you very much. That was actually excellent. We'll get into more of a discussion about that shortly. Adela, tell us about what you've written.
For me, the article is about the privacy and how the government use all your technology about or to have information the other country, the people, important people, because I think information is power. to control this information, they have an advantage is about the to use in another situation, and talk the mainly the article talk about three important people in this moment about this problem is Snowden, this Assange, and .com. I think is um, three people relate with the this spy.
Three key players at least, right?
Okay, and in different level because I think they are different interest each one, but is more or less is the I think is the about the article is this.
Okay, good. Let me hear you say the word privacy.
Privacy.
All right, excellent. Now I know that Raphael, you're ready because you started formatting your text. So Raphael, and I know we've got a famous actor in the class, Jim Carrey, but let's see if we can stay focused, guys. Raphael, please tell us about what you wrote. Sorry, I'm going to close my door. The baby's crying. Okay, go ahead, please.
It's about the invasion of the break in the security of people's information, which Edward Snowden accused the New Zealand's Prime Minister of misleading people from that country, in which these two organizations, NSA and GCSB, they start using this program called XKeyscore, in which can invade can break people's security information and simply steal information from people. And since people lose the reliance on his prime minister, this can affect the results of the next elections, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's more of a violation of privacy than stealing information. It's not that they're directly taking information, but they're listening. It'd be like me coming to your house, Raphael, and setting up some listening equipment. So whenever you made a phone call, I could hear what you're saying, or I could see everything you do on your computer, from typing emails to accessing bank records. It's kind of creepy to know your government is listening in on you.
Yes.
Raphael, do you know if Brazil does something similar?
Probably yes. I don't have right information about it, but I think they have some kind of surveillance in internet. I think they have increased since last year due to protests and something about people are sharing information about it, and I think they have increased the surveillance in the internet, maybe social networks.
Yeah, maybe. It's pretty scary stuff. 20 years ago, if somebody said this was going to happen, people would say, no, that can't happen. People would be shocked. Now, most people respond like you, saying, yeah, probably, and what can I do about it?
I think it's normal nowadays. It's not shocking anymore.
No, there isn't. You're right. Amir, tell us what you wrote. Hello, Amir?
Yes, exactly. I'm here. So let me scroll down. Okay. So it seems that the Prime Minister of not hiding information of spying about New Zealand and about the New Zealander country had been spied by a guy or something like that.
That's true. Well, guys, it
Yeah.
seems as we get further into the class, we lose a few people. Maybe it's the topic, maybe it's just time, or it could be because it is a difficult class. I mean, there's a lot of skills I'm trying to get you guys to practice in this class: reading, pronunciation, writing, comprehension. So I would like you guys just to have a discussion now about this story. What do you guys think about privacy? Daniela?
Well, I think that in this world with internet, it's really difficult to have a privacy. Even they, politics and others say that you have a right to privacy. In the reality, you haven't it. I'm thinking about Facebook and all the information they can collect and use for business purpose, advertising, and you are always controlled in every single action, and it's difficult to avoid this. Many people doesn't think about it. They share every little information on Facebook, pictures, and also you with your baby.
Yeah,
in
and you know, I
internet.
thought about that when I did it.
Yes,
Notice how I didn't mention his name?
yes.
Right.
If everyone is asking you, but you see, it's very difficult to control. Maybe you don't think about this, and you will have a problem. I don't know. I'm not here to afraid you, but I was thinking about all the things we do every day, like carrying with us a smartphone, and it's a machine that can give some information to others, your location.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yes, and you share it. You don't think about it. You collaborate if you don't want. You are your enemy of your privacy sometimes.
Well, that's a good point. I have a Facebook page, and the only reason I haven't deleted that page is, well, I can't. Facebook will not delete your content. They keep it years afterwards, so I might as well at least keep it up and know what I've got there. I don't post any personal information on it anymore. No pictures, no events, nothing.
Yes.
I am careful what I type because, again, my messages are recorded. I'll give you guys an example. You think, well, you don't have to worry. Well, at work we were working on a bill of materials, and we were talking on the phone, and I don't know if people are listening in. They probably are, maybe. I don't know. But one of the guys said, well, the bomb is almost ready. We're going to be, we're building it, and it should be ready by Friday. And then we can, what did he say? Once the bomb is ready, we can go ahead and implement it. Now, Raphael, what does that conversation sound like? If you overheard a conversation like that, what would you be thinking?
I don't know. I think it's trying to get some
I'm building a
information.
bomb, for heaven's sake, right?
Yes.
Those are the words. That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody's spying in and listening and that's all they're hearing, what are they thinking? I'm building a bomb. I'm going to deploy it. Okay.
Probably.
All right. Greg, what do you think if you heard that conversation?
Actually, I would say that it's true political events that we actually can hear from politicians. There will be no cameras. There will be no.
Well, now hold on. The question was, if you heard that conversation that I just said, what would you think?
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just thinking that we are just observers.
No, see, you don't even want to say. So
actually, I should say. Well, the thing is that politicians say different things and make different things.
Hold on. You're going off topic here, so let me bring it back. So that conversation is an example of a conversation that if you read it and you didn't know who was saying it, you're thinking, wow, this person's planning on setting off a bomb. It's pretty clear. That's what's being said. We don't know where. We don't know any other details. Now let me tell you that in English, bomb is short form for this. How we write it. And it stands for this. Bill of materials. We're putting together a bill of materials. We're putting together a bomb. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to carry out the bomb. We're going to carry out the bill of materials. We're going to implement it. This was an order for hardware, telecommunications hardware. Now, what's scary is that if governments are listening into us and the computers pick up on this conversation, we could be flagged as potential terrorists or enemies of the state. This has already happened. Now, usually what happens is afterwards, that is cleared up. They realize this person clearly isn't a terrorist. It was a mistake. But in the meantime, the person could be arrested, their assets seized, or be put under investigation and not be able to fly out of the country. That, to me, is what's scary about having everything monitored. Amir, what do you think?
Actually, I agree with you. I think that you have a little bit of problems, your connection or something.
Okay. Do you guys have trouble hearing me?
No.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you clearly now. It's okay.
Okay. Might be your connection, because I know I've got a very fast connection of, it's 30 megabits down and 5 megabits up, so I should have plenty of bandwidth. All right, who would like to talk? Who hasn't had a chance to talk for a while? All right, Daniela, what do you think? Do we have anything to worry about?
I'm quite worried about, because it's difficult to change all your habits, all the things you do, because I don't like to be controlled, and also because I know the bad side of Facebook, and because sometimes you share information that you don't want, or even your friend can share this information. So I think that we are not free, really.
No.
Even if I live in Italy, and politics and everyone said that we are not controlled. They don't control our phone, but I don't believe it.
You know what? I actually think you're freer in Europe than we are in North America.
And I think it's not I think we are all controlled also because of this terrorism danger.
Yeah, it's interesting. We hear a lot about terrorism, and this is why the governments need to take action to make sure it doesn't happen. And while seeing civilians hurt by people who would like to hurt them, how much more damage is our government doing by spying on us how much money is it costing to set this up and employing people to spy on us? I don't know. I'd rather have the risk of terrorism than have everything I say and do being listened to. That's my fear.
I think last year I watched a report on TV showed the results of a poll that was done in the United States about with people if they asking just in the question if they are aware of not of having his life invaded by the government. And what surprised me is because more than 50% they simply said that they don't care about it. They don't care about being his life under surveillance of government.
Yeah, the young especially don't seem to care as much. Privacy doesn't seem to matter to them. If you guys get a chance, read the book 1984 by George Orwell. You'll be very interested to know this book was written some 50 years ago.
The Big Brother.
Yeah. And at the time, people were just like, no, there's no way. And in the West, we always thought of this as something that would happen in the Soviet Union. We thought of this as being something that happens in countries where you don't have freedoms. And some of the things are coming to pass now that we thought our then enemies did is now happening in our own countries. We don't have those freedoms anymore.
I think their governments thinks they are the guardians of the world.
Well, that's what they're telling us. I don't know if that's what they think.
Because they control about the others governments. I think it's not good for me.
No. Yes.
I just want to say that you said about the costs of spying people. Actually, what I see, because sometimes I'm reading about it, the company who actually use these devices actually do most of the hard work because they see what is happening on our computers, on application that we bought, what we bought, when, and many other things. So this is one thing, but Hollywood and many people involved in music and movies actually use the blackmail against the producers of many operating systems. So it comes from a couple of sources, actually, there's surveillance practice. But at the same time, the goal of the producers of computers, of producers of movies, government, actually, there's a couple of groups and one goal, to spy us.
Well, it's a good comment. I mean, I don't know the answers. I actually work for government. I work for municipal, and this is not something we do. It's not our. It always this is something that always happens at the federal level that we're responsible for it. I mean, it seems great to be able to have computer systems that can find criminals, you know, and protect us, and that all sounds good until you realize that information is, or those systems are turned on you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good movies about this, like Minority Report, that talk about, well, what if we had systems that could identify criminals before they commit the crime?
Yeah, that was an interesting movie.
Yeah, pre-crime division. Echelon Conspiracy is another one about a computer that's so smart that it's able to protect the country against everyone and the things that it went out to do. Very interesting stuff. Guys, I want to thank you very much for coming to tonight's class. Academic English is kind of always set up this way. It's a focus on comprehension and conversation. We work on reading and writing and pronunciation as well. Tomorrow night, though, I have a class on project management. We'll talk about managing projects and examples of projects. We'll also talk a little bit about terminology, business terminology related to managing projects. I hope to see you guys tomorrow night. Not at the same time as tonight though, but it is 1 hour later. And then I'm back Wednesday at the same time. I'm trying to get more classes that start earlier in the day. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.